Hey, Eric.
Hey, Philip, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, brother. Thank you so much
Thank you very much.
for accepting my invitation. Welcome to You Infinite Podcast, Eric.
Thank you for having me in this podcast.
Let's dive right into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where do you come from? What are you studying? And what's like your reason for being in UFO?
Yeah, so my name is Erick Munene. I originally come from Kenya, and I came to U of O first as a Fulbright language teacher assistant for my native language, which is Swahili. And while in my program, I was able to, apply to the graduate school and specifically to the Masters of Science in Education Policy and Leadership, where I'm almost done. I'll be done in spring term.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And the reason why I applied to this program is I looked back to the issue of policy, education policy back in my home country, and I thought that there's need to, have changes, and one of the way to get there is to get some, knowledge about the whole aspect of education policy and leadership.
Yes.
And yes, that's how I plan, to get back sometime and steer education changes back in Kenya.
Wow, fantastic. Okay, perfect, Eric. So now let me ask you about your motivation for working and studying education. Because we both of us study education, psychology in a way, Yeah. So I'm wondering, why did you choose specifically education and not engineering or medicine,
Yeah. So, education to me is one of the ways that I feel I get back to my community and reach them one-on-one because, as a Kenyan, teacher, I have been able to reach and influence a generation positively by teaching them English and literature. And this is the way I felt. This is my own way, my personal way of reaching to the community and helping young students who have dreams to achieve their dreams. Because there are so many young people in Kenya who would want to achieve their dreams. So I want to act as a bridge between, their dreams and, the next stage. So I feel education was the best thing and being a teacher was the best thing to do.
That's a fantastic motivation, being the bridge that bridge this gap between their actual situation and their future, where they want to go.
Exactly.
That's fantastic, and good luck. You're already doing a fantastic job.
Thank you
so
much.
I'm totally sure that you are going to do even a greater job, because we have a great news right now. You got accepted in the PhD.
Yes.
Tell us more about this.
So what happened is that during the education policy program, I got to have very fruitful discussion in what we call U.S. policy survey class with Dr. David Riveting. I send some big up to David because he has been a great advisor, and we got to discuss issues concerning special education, and he allowed me to, speak from the point of view of Kenya and make comparison with what is happening in the United States today on issues concerning special education. And that is the point where I thought, Philip, that despite talking about policy and leadership, it's high time that we think of the most, the area with the biggest disparity in terms of, personnel, in terms of even changes that affect students. Because as I told you earlier, we need to think about students. We need to act as a bridge between, their dreams and their future. So I thought special education is one of the areas that has a lot of, it's not, advocated for, and we don't have personnel who help in, steering the field. So that's how I came to a decision of applying to PhD in special education here at U of O. Remember, U of O is one of the top universities that has College of Education, like it's top 3. So, and I got accepted, and I already have an offer, and starting fall of 2023, we'll be doing it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
This sounds like a dream, honestly.
It's a dream come true. Philip,
I
this
bet.
is a dream come true for me. And I feel so great. And I look forward to working with the great professors of U of O. Talk of Dr. Sylvia Thompson, talk of Dr. Lodanis, talk of Dr. Giovanna Rodriguez, great professors. I look forward to, being part of the change in special education, not only in the US, not only in Kenya, but also in the world.
The thing that honestly I appreciate at you the most, I appreciate a lot of things at you, but the thing that I appreciate the most is that you have a global vision. So few people right now have this kind of global vision. They want to give back to their families, which is nice. Don't misunderstand me. They want to give back to their community, their country, but they don't think about the rest of the countries, no? Like Europe, Asia, Australia, and so on. And whenever I talk to you, I want to give back to US, to Kenya, but also to the whole world. So this is amazing. I appreciate this a lot.
Yeah, this is a view that all of us should have, because today we are global citizens. That's why we have you from Romania in the US today. That's why we have me from Kenya in the US today. That's why we have a student here at U of O going to another country for, for studies outside the US. It's a great thing, and the world in future will be a global village where all of us will be global citizens. So it's high time we start thinking of, having changes for the world, and not only for maybe our home countries, and not only for the US, but for the world.
Totally for the
Yes.
whole world.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Eric, speaking about things that guide you and guide your daily actions, I believe that we have like a compass, we as people, and that compass is made of our values. This is my personal belief.
Very true.
And I want to ask you, what are maybe 3 main core values that guide your day-to-day activities?
Yeah, that's a good question, Philip. Thank you for that. I have several core values, but when I rank them top 3, number 1 is spirituality, like being spiritual. Number 2 is empathy, putting myself in the shoes of other people. And number 3 is integrity, because that will guide me to ensure that I serve people right. Remember, I told you I'm serving, I aspire to work with community. Community is part of me. And so when I have integrity, I believe that I'll be able to reach out and do justice to people, practice equality, practice diversity, practice inclusion. So spirituality, empathy, and integrity are my 3 core values.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, you come from Kenya.
Yes.
And you're an inspiration for everyone. But I think especially for people who come from this part of the world, like Africa, because sadly, we don't see so many in US, especially in graduate school.
Yes.
This is the sad thing.
Yes.
And I want to really grasp this opportunity to ask you, what advice do you have for African American students or African students, Black students who may have dreams, may have desires, and may not believe in themselves, or may not see someone that looks like them in that position that they dream to be? What advice do you have for them?
Yeah, thank you for that question, Philip. It's true. Actually, in my program starting fall, I'll be one among the 2 Black students in the program. So, and I believe there are more outside who would want to join University of Oregon. And what I would really want to tell them is that no dream is too big. No dream is too big. So when we think about dreams, we might think, oh, the dream that I have is so big. But I always believe that there is no dream that is so big. We can achieve what we want to achieve in our lives. And if we want to get into graduate school, if you want to get to, school of law, engineering, psychology, special education, one thing that we need to believe is no dream is too big. And for us to achieve these dreams, we must set goals. Every day, have a goal for every day, have a goal for every week, every month, every term. They might be even simple goals, and that will be the way to achieve our dreams. And as I always say, no dream is too big. No. We can do this.
Totally agree. And I love that you sneak into this advice also a practical one.
Yes.
Because this is a quote that is inspirational. No dream is too big.
Exactly.
But give me the practical activity that will get me to UFO, will get me to my dream. And you name it very well.
Yeah.
That's it, to set goals.
Yes.
Because everyone has dreams.
Yes.
I dream to become an astronaut. Everyone has dreams since we are little. But few people have goals. Smart goals, smarter goals, like specific goals. And I would add, with your permission, some plans to achieve that goals, like detailed plans and stick to that plan. Because you can have goals, plans, but if you don't have the discipline to stick to that, the integrity that you mentioned as one of your core values, you won't get there. And speaking about discipline, you are a very disciplined person as I see you.
Very true.
And
thank you.
Tell me about your daily physical activity in terms of how much you move in a day, because I heard a lot of things, but I want to hear it from you.
Yeah, thank you for that question. And I also appreciate you for the good work that you do in terms of discipline, because you have been one of the greatest person that inspire me, doing all these activities, rolling, getting to talk to friends and everything. So, but also talking about myself is that my day usually starts at 4 a.m. So at 4 a.m. I wake up, I sit down. Fasting is making a prayer. That's the thing that gets me going, like thanking God for the day and asking for his guidance. Then after that, I also have to run 7 miles a day on average. So sometimes it's hard. It's hard to be consistent, but you have to. You have to deny yourself that sleep for you to ensure that you achieve what you want to achieve. So I do studies. I do some studies a bit, and then after that I transition to running in the morning. And it also depends with my schedule. So, but most of the time I run in the morning, then come back, take a heavy breakfast, very important. Then after that, of course, refreshing, and then get to school. Then that's how my day starts, and up to evening. I also get some time whenever it's possible to go to the gym, because that is the way to relieve my mind, and also talking to friends. I really have many friends that I get to talk to, because being away from home can also be another setback. But, having friends to talk to, and this discipline of practicing, and also, getting to study, getting to talk to your professors is something that you have to be consistent with, or else you lose track. So discipline is very important, and getting to exercise.
Totally.
Yeah. Can you do 7 miles?
I bet I can, but not so consistent.
Okay. It's It all depends.
It's about consistency.
Yeah, it's all.
Yes.
It's about consistency.
I honestly believe that we as humans are the sum of our habits.
Exactly.
So I'm wondering, you mentioned some of them, but I want you to point them out. What are some habits, daily habits or weekly habits that you have and that help you to stay productive, stay fulfilled, happy, connected with God, with people, with your work? What are some habits? Maybe 3, 5 habits, important
Yeah.
ones.
As I said, number one is putting God first through prayer, through reading, Bible. I do that a lot. That's a habit for me. It's something that I do each and every day. And number two is, exercising. To have, to relieve our mind and to set our brains, active. That I also feel is very, very important. Number three is good eating habits. Yeah, I don't take fast food. I've stuck to my Kenyan meals. I've been so stuck to my ugali. I've been so stuck to my mokimo, which is an indigenous meal. So getting to eat well and also drinking a lot of water. I drink like 3 to 4, liters of water each and every day. Those habits, I feel, they are things that keep me going. And if we were to practice some of them, if not all, our lives will be always good. We'll always have these lively faces. We'll always have this strength, even to attend to classes, go from one place to another. And it's a great thing for me that keeps me going.
What would you say to a person that says, I like these habits, sounds very cool, amazing. I agree with you, but I don't have time. I don't have the discipline. I don't have the money to go to the gym to buy my food, healthy food. I don't have that. I don't have that. It comes out with so many excuses. What would you say to them?
I'll say to them, no dream is too big. They should dream, and then they try. It's all about trying, Philip. You cannot just give up so fast. We try. We give it a try today. We fail. Tomorrow we give it another try. We fail. The other day we try, we fail. And it's all about trying. So no dream is too big. And if we keep doing things in a consistent way and believe that we can achieve it, it's very possible. If we believe that, we can become the next, president of UFO, it's possible if we work towards that dream. So that's one thing that I always believe, that it is very possible for it to happen. Being consistent, focus on it. No dream is too big. Yes.
From what I hear from you, you kind of take your energy to do that, even if you don't feel like doing it. You take your energy from this big vision that you have.
Exactly.
I have this dream. I want to achieve it, so I need to eat healthy, move my body, connect with God, and do all of the other things. Am I right?
Yes. And there's also another thing that I should also mention, that Philip, when we think about our families and also our friends, they are a big support system to me towards the achievement of dream that I have. So I really consider my family because, for example, my sister, my parents, my younger brother, my younger sister, very close. I bring them very close to my life because they keep me, like, wherever I look up to them and see the dream or how much they look up to me, I keep going. I cannot afford to give up. So the family is very, very important. Then the friends also act as a very important support system. Wherever I have an issue and I share with you as a friend, with other friends that I have, my cohort, my friends outside the university, it's a start point to have a solution to a problem that you might be having. So I also consider friends to be very, very important. So that is one thing that I should also not forget to mention. Friends and family are very, very important in achieving your dream.
Totally. Because I noticed this, and I totally agree with you. People will do more for others than for themselves.
Exactly.
Because it happens sometimes your family gets sick or sick, you know. You will do anything to save them. You'll make the money, you'll travel to wherever you need to travel, you know, speak with all the medics and do all of the things because you care about them. So reminding yourself that I'm doing this also for them because they look at me. They want my good. I want to make them proud. I want to give back to them. This is like a constant motivator that few people use, unfortunately, you know, because it's a society where we like to think that I'm doing for myself, to be number one, to look good, you know, to be on covers of magazines, to have more followers, more likes.
Exactly.
But this is not sustainable in terms of pushing yourself, in terms of energizing yourself.
Yeah, I also feel it's wherever you think about others, it gives you a sense of responsibility. If you want to really measure how responsible you are, it's how well do you think about others? How well do you think about others apart from yourself? So in this bubble that we are in, we have friends, we have people who look upon us. So how well do you think about them? So that's how you can measure your sense of responsibility. And that's how I measure my sense of responsibility when we talk about thinking about friends and also the family. It's not all about yourself. It's also all about others.
Totally.
Yeah.
What's next? What's next? What's your biggest thing? Because you are in PhD right now.
Yeah, I feel maybe I should take a break. Maybe,
totally, but I don't see you taking a break, honestly.
maybe, yeah, the next big thing that might come is going back to the community and trying to steer changes from what I will have, learned in the PhD. And I look forward to continue giving back to my community. That is a big thing. That's the biggest thing after PhD. It's bigger than the PhD. Yeah. So giving back to the community. Yeah, and probably starting up a family. I'm not yet. I'm not yet there, but I'm getting there. Got this.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
You mentioned this because sometimes I saw people forget about themselves.
Yeah.
Because this is another trap. I mean, we both care a lot about others. You care a lot. I care also a lot about others.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing this, to inspire others.
Exactly.
But, you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Exactly.
So thinking also about yourself, about your family, building a family, having a wife, having children, and so on, having a partner for your life. This is also important because it fills you, it gives you energy so you can give more.
Yeah.
So I like that you put that on your list.
100%, I agree with you that, having that family and also thinking about the next step, family is a PhD by itself.
Family, it's a PhD. I like this.
It's a PhD by itself. So
it takes 4 years to
it takes
graduate.
Actually, longer than that to graduate. It's a postgraduate program. So, yeah, I feel having a family is very, very important. And of course, it will come from, trusting in God. When you trust in God and, that God is going to, provide this partner who thinks on the same level as you, life will be so easy. And I believe, you'll be celebrating at some point.
Totally.
Yeah.
I have, one last question I have
Yes.
for you. How do you balance work, study, and family? Because I got it, honestly. Trusting God that He will provide for you a partner.
Yeah.
Like, but my question is, do we need to do also some actions, like going to, I don't know, social events? That now there are so many apps that I don't support.
Yeah.
But you got my point.
So
So how do you balance them in a way to have also productivity in your work, but also to take actions that will get you closer to your family, to your partner, to your dream life?
yeah, that's a good question. Philip, I always say that when you think about this life has so many dimensions. Yeah. And you cannot only think from your dimension. So one thing is, as you consider, having talking to God about your plans, you must also have people who advise you. Today, if I come to you asking for certain advice that I believe that Philip is so good in, you'll give me that advice, and tomorrow I'll succeed. So I always believe that it's getting the right people to talk to about the situation that you are going through is one big thing that can help you, establish all the things that you'd want to have, including a family. Yeah. So, because when I come, if you are successful in that one thing, I'll always, come to you to ask for advice. So I believe the next thing, apart from, God, is also getting the right people to talk to, and also, getting things into practice. Yes. That's what I can say about that. Getting the right people to talk to is a very important thing. Yes.
Totally. It was more than a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah.
And it was one of the greatest interviews I did. Things flew so naturally. Like I saw you smiling all the time. You inspired me to ask good questions. Is anything that I didn't ask you and you want to tell us?
Philip, I think you talk about my smile, and I'll tell you that I'll never cease smiling, because for me, smile is something that relieves my mind and, makes, it easy for me to interact with people, because this smile is beautiful.
Totally. I agree.
So the other thing is that I always, what I can say maybe as part of this great talk is that I'll quote Denzel Washington, and he said that we should not always think about making a living. We should always think about making that positive change in the society. And that is a paraphrase of a quote in one of his greatest speeches that he made. And I always believe that we are working so hard. You're working so hard right now in graduate school to ensure that you have succeeded, to get a good pay, to get a good, life. So I always say it's not all about making a living. It's all about making that positive difference in the society. So I always challenge people that we are thinking so much about how we can make a living, how we can, make good money, have a good house, have a parcel of land, have all these great things in life. But we should also think about making a positive difference, like what you are doing right now, talking to people who think that the society, should be influenced in this positive way through your podcasts. That is a way of making a positive change in the society. And I really thank you from the heart, from the bottom of my heart, for this great podcast. And let's think about the society that we have today. Let's think about how we can create a change. No dream is too big.
No dream is too big. Erick Munene, I will link your social in the description so
Sure.
people can follow you
Yeah, sure.
on Instagram and Facebook. And also, I put your email if people have questions for you, because you are an inspiration, brother.
Yeah, I have great pieces for people, like even how they can apply to graduate school successfully. I look forward to having more people from, Kenya, from Africa, from different parts of the world come to the University of Oregon, because U of O is a great institution that is steering readers of tomorrow, not only here in the US, but also in the world. And I look forward to having more people come here and get influenced.
Let's bring them here,
Yeah.
brother. Take care, stay infinite. It was a
Thank
pleasure
you.
to have you here.